Okay, coordinate geometry 2. So let's have a look at lines in this case. I'll start with GeoGebra again. The second icon there is for lines. So here we go. And the thing to remember is a line goes through 2 points. So I had to plot 2 points to draw that line. Now it does go through many other points, but you need a minimum of 2 points to specify the direction of the line. And that line is going from bottom left to top right. Here's a different line. Going like that. Here's another line, straight up more or less. And here's another line horizontally over. Okay, so what we do is we describe the direction the line is going. So bottom left to top right, from here, bottom right to top left, horizontally or vertically, by a term called the slope. And the slope tells us, the slope is basically the direction that the line is going in. So let me start this again and I'll show you a few different types of slope. So first of all, if a line is horizontal, basically the line is flat, it's got no slope, so the slope is 0. Then if the line starts going from the bottom left upwards like so, it's got, we call a positive slope. Now, this one here has a greater slope, this one has a greater slope, and this one has a greater slope. So we can see that if you were driving a car going from left to right, the one there that goes through I and J, that's got the greatest slope. So the car will go up the biggest hill essentially. And that's how I think about it. If you're driving a car from left to right, what does the slope or the incline look like? So horizontally from A to B, it's got no slope. From C to D, it's got a small slope. And as we go up, the slopes get larger and larger and larger. Now, there is one other one here that I'm going to do before I reset this, and that's if the line is vertical. Now that slope is infinitely large, or we often say the slope is undefined. So that's an undefined slope. So we go from a 0 slope, which is horizontal. The slope increases. It remains positive if it keeps increasing. So each of those is a positive slope. And this one then is an undefined slope. All right, so the second type we have then. Remember, we're driving the car from left to right. If the slope is like this, so if we're driving from left to right, we're going downwards. And how we describe that is we say it's got a negative slope. So there's another negative slope, there's another negative slope, and there's another negative slope there. Okay, so let's recap on this. So first off, lines can be drawn between any 2 points. So lines are directed at an angle, and we use the word slope to describe how it's directed. So look between 2 points, and its direction there is described by the word slope. Remember, we're thinking about it in terms of a car going from left to right. So in this case, we're going up the slope, and up the slope is going to be positive. Likewise, down the slope will be negative. So have a look at those. The first one, uphill, positive slope, downhill, negative slope. If it's horizontal, the slope is equal to 0, and a vertical line has a slope that's undefined. And we're not dealing with where that line is on the plane. We're just looking at the direction it travels in. That's all. So let's have a look at these. So first question anyway, which of these slopes are positive? So slope A and slope B are positive because they're uphill, and then line C is negative because it's downhill. Have a look at these ones, which are positive. So if we look at the top left-hand corner, that's a downhill slope, that's a negative slope. The top right-hand corner is a positive slope. Bottom left is positive. Bottom right is a negative slope as well. Okay, if we look at these, all of these are positive slopes. And there's something specific here. A and B are parallel lines. And I'd like you to remember that parallel lines have the same slope. Okay, next set. All of these are downhill slopes, with the exception of A. A is actually horizontal, so A has got a slope of 0. B, C, and D are all negative slopes. So I'd like you to remember that a horizontal line has a slope of 0. Okay. So which one has the lowest positive slope here? Okay, the answer should be line A, has the lowest positive slope, and line B is a steeper line, so it's got a higher slope. And we've already seen the negative slope is line C.